This my two Satoshis. This my two Satoshis. Who need 2 cents when they can get double from stacking Toshis? Yeah,
It's your boy Crypto Blood. Welcome to another episode of My Two Satoshis. It is Thursday, and I gotta give a shout out to my man Wire Sparks, a premium member. He's been hanging in there with me. I know I've been doing videos, man. I promise I am getting back into the groove this week. Going into next week, I got a new schedule for videos, so I'm going to be putting them out on a more consistent basis. So thank you for hanging in there, and a more exclusive content coming to Wire Sparks. But shout out to him for the song request, DJ Abux and Soul King, It Ain't Me. He also said here, Max, put some damn pants on. I can't watch this. LOL. Hey, he's referring to the Max Kaiser video I did live. Well, it wasn't live stream, but I shot it live out in Phoenix a few weeks ago. If you missed that, definitely go check it out. Pure entertainment, man. I think the way Max Kaiser helps people understand or come to Bitcoin or come to Jesus, that's what it seems like, is very unique, but I think can be effective. Sometimes people need that shock and awe to really get their attention, and he definitely does that. So I'll leave a link in the description of this video. Check out that Fuck Elon Musk tour that he's on. He's going all across the country and around the world. I think he's going to be in France very soon, talking Bitcoin and spreading the word. So definitely check that out in the section below. But welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode. It's been a while, but I hope you guys are eager to see what I have to say about El Salvador and them actually going live with their legal tender law for Bitcoin. And we're going to look at what a legendary investor, Mark Mobius, says about El Salvador and Bitcoin's adoption. He said it won't likely catch on elsewhere. This is interesting because I somewhat agree with him. There are some key points in this article that I don't agree with, and we'll talk about it. But look, Bitcoin to me, and I'm writing a book on this, Bitcoin to me is a store of value. Its original intent was a hybrid store of value and as money, as an exchange for money. Real seamless, low cost, fast at that point early in the days. But it has grown to a point where that is no longer a realistic use case for Bitcoin. So it's just interesting to see that El Salvador has rolled out Bitcoin as legal tender and basically mandated that all businesses at least accept Bitcoin. We'll look at the Chivo wallet that they rolled out there. They had some issues with that, and that's one of the other articles we'll talk about today. There were a couple hiccups in the release of this Bitcoin wallet from the president of El Salvador, so we'll talk about that as well. And lastly, Bitcoin price target from Standard Chartered is said to hit $100,000 by the end of this year or early 2021. Man, I love these headline articles right here. They really capture your attention, don't they? None of them, I should say, most of them are always wrong. But we'll at least take a look at this, and I'll give you my two Satoshis on when I see Bitcoin hitting $100,000. I think we got some headway. I think we got some challenges, and actually El Salvador's rollout of Bitcoin as legal tender will, I think, in the short run, make Bitcoin take a pause. And I'll explain why in today's episode. So all three articles we will cover in today's episode of My Two Satoshis. Let's get it. But before we start, if you guys find these types of videos informative, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and click that bell to receive more videos like this. Oh baby, before we get started, we have to take a look at the technicals. And my God, this move down, this flash crash we saw just a few days ago, Bitcoin from peak to trough, it looks like about 18% flash crash within literally 12 hours or so. Massive move down, and really disrupts what we've seen happen or gain in price appreciation over the last month or so. So in 18 hours, 12 hours, what we've gained in a month was wiped out. Talk about cryptos, right? What this means for us, still bullish. I have to say, still bullish, even in the short term, because we saw a bounce off the top side of the channel that we've been in, or we were in, for about 3-4 months now, and we're now out of that channel. I'm going to extend this purple area out to where we broke out of the channel, but I think this is still in the bull case, definitely not as strong. I thought we were on the way with that momentum we saw breaking out of the channel. I thought we were on the way to test all-time highs again. But at this point, this flash crash really set us back a month or so. I haven't changed my sentiment. I still think we're slightly bullish here with Bitcoin and the crypto markets. But what you have to understand, and I don't think many crypto personalities will admit this, but Bitcoin is highly correlated with the equities markets. So with that being said, you know, the Federal Reserve has hinted toward raising rates at the last FOMC meeting, right? Fed Chair Powell hinted toward possibility of raising rates. We know they actually may do it, but they won't sustain it. But in the meantime, if the markets think that they are going to raise rates, or let's just say they do start raising rates like they did back in 2019, I think in 18, where there was that what we call taper tantrum. I think raising rates at this point, if they are to do it, will be a very bad sign for equities, for bonds, for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is highly correlated with the equities market. So don't look at Bitcoin as a safe haven away from what happens in the traditional markets. No, it's highly correlated, and it is a risk off asset. Bitcoin is. So if people get scared, guess what? A lot of money that's in Bitcoin today is institutional money. So if the institutions get scared, they're going to pull their money to the sidelines into cash, from equities, from bonds, but also from Bitcoin. All right. So that's going to negatively affect the price of Bitcoin in the short term. Now, long term, I think we still do head higher, and we'll talk about that. And from the article out of Cointelegraph, where Standard Charter says that Bitcoin will hit 100,000 by the end of this year, I don't agree with that, but I definitely do see Bitcoin hitting 100K in the short run. All right, so that's where we are with things. If you're looking to buy more, you can buy in now. Honestly, with Bitcoin, hide your stop losses below the channel, the top side of that channel. So about $42,000, 42,700 to be more exact. That is about a 7% stop loss. Keep that in mind. So just adjust your size, your trade size accordingly with a 7% stop loss. And if we drop back below the top of that channel, then we got a different scenario on our hands. That's when I started to go back bearish. But at this point, I am definitely still on the bullish side. So watch that 47,700 marker for a trigger to head back lower if that happens. And as far as the first article we're going to cover today is the one out of Markets Insider, and it is from the legendary Mark Mobius, that says that El Salvador's Bitcoin adoption won't likely catch on elsewhere. So it says here, El Salvador's move to adopt Bitcoin is unlikely to find many imitators. He said in an interview with Bloomberg, he said it just does not make sense to have a payment system with Bitcoin when you can use your phone to make payments. I kind of agree with that. You guys, you got to agree with that, right? Bitcoin is no longer a fast, cheap way of moving money around for a cup of coffee or to buy groceries or anything like that. People will say, well, the Lightning Network can do and improve this. Yeah, we've been saying that for many years now. Lightning Network is not at the point where it can roll out today in El Salvador. So I don't see the adoption of Bitcoin in this manner by the citizens of El Salvador. What I would have wanted to see here is El Salvador come out and say, hey, we're taking 10%, 30%, even 20% of our reserves, our cash reserves, and placing them in Bitcoin. That is really where you're going to see the power of Bitcoin against these dying fiat currencies around the world, not in adopting it for or as legal tender, in my opinion. So it goes on to say the Salvadorian president has said that Bitcoin will help slash the cost of remittances. As you guys probably know, that on Tuesday, El Salvador began its nationwide Bitcoin adoption, and that's the same day, coincidentally, that Bitcoin crashed 19% within 12 hours. But the Mobius Capital partner, Mark Mobius, said the move exposed Bitcoin's shortcomings as a payment mechanism, throttling the likelihood of broader adoption. He said, he goes on to say here, you don't need Bitcoin, you don't need cryptocurrency. So that's exactly, I told you where in the article I disagree with him. You do need cryptocurrencies and you do need Bitcoin. but not in the fashion in which El Salvador is rolling it out. Others think that the adoption of this volatile cryptocurrency will actually hamper its crucial financial assistance talks with the IMF. That's a possibility. I definitely see that being a problem, and destabilizing the country's already weak economic fundamentals. Mobius goes on to tell Bloomberg, El Salvador, let's face it, it's on its back. It's got real problems. It's a bankrupt country. They're grasping at straws with Bitcoin. He added that a few other countries like Cuba could copy this legal tender move, Bitcoin legal tender move like El Salvador did. But other than that, he doesn't expect widespread adoption. I have to agree with him. I do see other small countries trying any and everything, right, to just free themselves from the high inflation they've caused themselves. And that has been caused by, of course, the United States offshoring a lot of the inflation that we've created, right? We've printed trillions and trillions of dollars, maybe quadrillions of dollars in money that is being offshooted or offshored to other countries, and they're feeling the real pain here. And in addition to that, you got countries printing their own money. So the inflation is really put on steroids when you have those two factors pinning up against each other. So yes, I can see Cuba possibly trying this, but really, I don't see many other countries mandating that businesses and companies take Bitcoin as legal tender. I just don't see this as a good outcome for El Salvador. I know I got people, Max Kaiser, one of my good friends, he is hyped about this. Brock Pierce is heavily involved in El Salvador. He's been down there trying to help them as well. I know people of influence really think this is a great move for El Salvador, but I have to disagree. And you know, Crypto Blood's not going to bite his tongue for nobody. So let me know in the comments below, though, what do you think about this? Is El Salvador in a good position with this move? We see what happened to Bitcoin. Let me know, why do you think Bitcoin crashed on the news? Is it a just buy the rumor, sell the news? Was this move up out of the channel all because of El Salvador and the expectation that this rollout was coming, and the smart money was just selling on the news? That's a possibility as well, but I personally think there was more to it. That could be a factor, but I think there were more things that the market was reading from this. One could possibly be, okay, on the day of the release, the Bitcoin wallet that El Salvador is using, Chivo, actually had some big issues. It said the virtual wallet launched by the president of El Salvador to turn Bitcoin into legal tender failed within hours of being online, and the digital revolution proposed by the controversial Central American leader will have to wait at least until the technical problems of the platform have been fixed. Chivo Wallet is what is called. The app of the official Bitcoin and dollar wallet of the government of El Salvador was promoted ad nauseum by the president, which followed the countdown to its launch as one more fan demanding that Apple, Google, and Huawei upload it to their application stores as soon as possible. All that previous euphoria, in which the president himself tweeted demanding the big tech release the virtual wallet downloads, it suddenly turned off when in the first hours the application actually began to crash. So he put out a tweet here, and he's just kind of reassuring people to be patient. He tweeted here, better slowly and with good handwriting, a little patience, he said. You know, I'm seeing articles talking about El Salvador bought the dip, did you, and all that stuff. I'm not too sure of that. They bought Bitcoin, right, for releasing this wallet. I think they spent about $21 million in purchasing Bitcoin because they were going to be giving $30 to each citizen of El Salvador to help spur the adoption of Bitcoin through this Chivo wallet. They didn't buy the dip, okay? They bought before the dip. So so this $21 million or 400 coins, 400 Bitcoins, they took a big L on that. Bitcoin is still pretty volatile in comparison to other fiat currencies. Again, legal currency, legal tender, in my opinion, is not going to be a favorable position for Bitcoin. It's not the best pitch for Bitcoin at this point. All right, so we'll see what happens. Maybe that's why Bitcoin did crash, because now we have to see the writing on the wall and see that Bitcoin is not going to perform well as a legal tender or mechanism for El Salvador. There are other cryptocurrencies that will do a much better job. Okay, even Bitcoin on other blockchains, wrapped Bitcoin. We see that on Ethereum. Ethereum has its limitations, but you can wrap Bitcoin on various blockchains that are way more superior than even Ethereum in speed and efficiency. Solana, EOS, Telos. I mean, there are a number of blockchains that are much better at scaling Bitcoin than Bitcoin itself. Even the Lightning Network, I think, is ultimately a failed project. But again, Crypto Blood does not bite his tongue for nobody. And I'm going to give you my honest opinion about these crypto headlines. All right. Bitcoin price target to hit $100,000 at the end of 2021 or early 2022. This is coming from Standard Chartered. So the industry expert sees Tuesday's crypto market plunge as a false dip, while reiterating the $100,000 Bitcoin price for the end of the year. In a new report by Standard Chartered's cryptocurrency research unit, Bitcoin is predicted to hit $100,000 in late 2021 or early 2022, accompanied by a huge Ethereum price spike. Now that part I do agree with, and it's not because Ethereum is fixing its technical issues or it's going from proof of work to proof of stake. Nah, not really. I think it's more so that Wall Street has gotten the itch for Ethereum. They've really started to invest in Ethereum, and it's just an easier and more efficient way of transferring and speculating on the crypto market. So I think you're going to see more money spill over into Ethereum, and that is why the price will head higher. I personally see Ethereum easily hitting $10,000, $15,000, $18,000 in the next year or two. I think I talked about this on one of my off the chain episodes with my buddies, Alan Henna, 10 Pound, Trek. We talked about that, and I said, yes, I can definitely see Ethereum hitting 5 digits easily. Their research, though, said that they structurally see a value of about $26,000 or up to $35,000. That's 10 times its current price. But Bitcoin must reach $175,000 for that to occur. I don't see a 10x on Bitcoin in the near future, but I definitely can see a 5x in Ethereum easily. So this Nick Spanos, who is one of the first Bitcoin exchange operators and co-founder of Zap Protocol, said that Tuesday's crash he actually categorized it as a false dip. He said big finance and the media says it's because there was a bumpy rollout in El Salvador. He said, I'm in El Salvador right now and things are looking spectacular. He went on to say here, he thinks that Bitcoin will reach $100,000 by the end of the year, adding that Ethereum is also looking like a $10,000 price target by then as well. I can see $10,000 Ethereum maybe by the end of the year. We'll see. Definitely see $10,000 Ethereum before I see $100,000 Bitcoin, in my opinion. Spanos also said there's essentially a fire sale as a result of the dip, will almost certainly prove to be a great move. All right, yeah, greater's fool theory. Just try to get people to buy because your bags need to be sold at a higher price. Is Bitcoin going to 100,000? Absolutely. If these central banks around the world continue with their irresponsibility, yes, it is happening. But you have to factor in two things, though: that their irresponsibility, and the fact that we could see a slowdown in the economy and in the markets, in the equities markets. So if that happens, those two kind of cancel out. Who will win over time? Of course, the bank's irresponsibility, central bank's irresponsibility will win. But in the short run, if we see a slowdown, if equities markets roll over and start heading south, Bitcoin is heading south with it. So predicting the timing of $100,000 Bitcoin is damn near impossible. I'm gonna be honest with you. Only thing close is, of course, the stock to flow model, which is, something I've seen be an accurate indicator over the last few years. So we're well below where we should be as far as Bitcoin. According to stock to flow, we should be at $107,000 right now. So we got some catching up to do, and I think we can catch up to this stock to flow. But if you read this stock to flow properly, we're going to stay around $100,000 for quite some time. Literally for almost 3 years, give or take. Let's see what happens here. Interesting times with Bitcoin. $100,000 is a very big price target for Bitcoin. I know a lot of whales talking about taking some money off the table at or around $100,000. So I can see why that could be a kind of a ceiling for Bitcoin, give or take 10%, 20% over the next 2 to 3 years. That means other coins will do very well and outperform and start to outperform Bitcoin. And this is when I think at this point, Bitcoin's dominance will start really dwindling for good. Start heading toward that 10%, 5% crypto dominance in Bitcoin. Just keep that in mind. That's all. Let me know your thoughts about everything in today's episode. If you really found this informative, hit that thumbs up, like and share, and all that good stuff. And definitely comment. Let's make that a conversation in the section below in this video. That helps the algo pick us up, and we're gonna keep rocking. I promise you, more videos, more frequently, coming from your boys, yours truly, Crypto Blood. I'm out of here. Holla.